you can count on us. This is 7 News Good Morning Fort Sill.
Good morning and welcome to this Tuesday edition of Good Morning Fort Sill.
Well, we've got another packed show this morning. Let's go ahead and kick it over to Ulysses on the weather wall. See what the PT forecast is looking like. So Ulysses, I feel like it's going to be a little bit cooler today. Am I right on that one?
Yeah, it's going to feel cooler out there because of the fact that we're having some clouds rolling in associated with the front. But definitely this morning for the PT forecast, though, it's actually going to start off a bit warmer than we were yesterday. So 67 degrees because of the clouds. So the clouds, they really provide that blanket effect at night. Pretty much at night, it pretty much keeps that warmer air intact, while during the daytime it doesn't really let any heat come in. So 67 degrees right now at Fort Sill, 5 degrees warmer, 13 miles an hour is also a bit on the breezy side as well, as we're dealing with those winds coming in out of the north. We'll see those temperatures drop down into the lower 60s as we make our way towards the 6 and 7 o'clock hour, and that's really because of the fact that the front is actually currently passing through Texoma as we speak. So we'll deal with those temperatures falling a bit more before they start rising. 91 degrees for the high temperature yesterday, 59 for the low. So definitely you can see a little bit of a temperature spread there across the area. And looking at our Comanche Red River Hotel Casino Tower Cam in Duval, overall pretty much quiet conditions here. We're going to see those temperatures warming up throughout today into the lower 80s. We'll talk about that coming up.
Well, today marks the second anniversary of the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel and the war that emerged as a result.
It comes as both sides appear to inch closer to a peace deal to end hostilities. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has the latest.
This morning, critical talks continue in Egypt as Israel and Hamas work towards a possible peace deal. President Trump saying he remains optimistic on the second anniversary of the October 7th attacks.
Well, I really think we're going to have a deal. We have a really good chance of making a deal, and it'll be a lasting deal. We want to have peace.
President Trump says he hopes there will be an agreement on phase 1 as early as this week. The ceasefire talks reportedly centering on prisoner exchanges. Under Trump's proposal, Israel would release nearly 2,000 Palestinians in exchange for Hamas freeing 48 hostages, 20 of whom are believed to be alive. It comes as Jews around the world gather to mourn those who died 2 years ago today during the attacks. Hamas militants killing some 1,200 people, mostly civilians, including women, children, and older adults.
I hope that the new deal, the hostages to come back and celebrate at last peace in the Middle East.
Overnight, Israelis gathering at the site of the Nova Music Festival, where 400 were killed and dozens abducted. Now, a memorial to those who were lost. But across Israel, the country is deeply divided, with weekly mass protests against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's leadership.
It's like an open wound. The hostages, I really can't believe it's been almost 2 years. It's been 2 years that they are not at home.
In Gaza, this Palestinian mother gave birth to twins on November 2023. She says her fear is that negotiations will fail. According to Gaza's health ministry, which is controlled by Hamas, the Palestinian death toll in the war is more than 67,000. And this afternoon, President Trump is set to welcome former hostage Idan Alexander to the White House, the last known American held by Hamas. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Thanks, Nicole. President Trump has ordered the National Guard to Chicago for the next 2 months.
That's right. Under the new order, at least 300 members of the Illinois National Guard are headed to the Windy City. The Trump administration said the action is to protect federal workers and federal property in Chicago.
The city's mayor and the state's governor filed a lawsuit to try and stop the Guard's deployment. However, a federal judge decided not to immediately block the president's order. A full hearing on the matter is scheduled for Thursday. And hundreds of members of the Texas National Guard are now deploying to various parts of the country to protect ICE agents and other federal assets. In a post on social media, Texas Governor Greg Abbott showed pictures of troops in fatigues, helmets, and shields boarding a military aircraft.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker responded to Abbott's post by pointing out to Abbott's 2024 claims that then President Joe Biden was attempting a power grab of the Texas National Guard through proposals to transfer Air National Guard members to support the Space Force without the consent of their governors. Well, we continue to provide updates on financial resources available to assist military service members, federal employees, and their families who may be going without pay due to the government shutdown.
The AFE's Military Star credit card is offering 0% interest and no payments at commissaries worldwide for 3 months on purchases made during the month of October. Now, the offer applies to all new and existing Military Star card members. For more information and to apply for a card, you can visit myecp.com. And
federal civilian employees can find resources and assistance through the Federal Employee Education and Assistance Fund. FEEA has a special government shutdown section on their website at feea.org. There is an FEEA grant and loan program, as well as links to state unemployment benefit websites.
Furloughed federal employees are eligible for unemployment benefits in Texas and Oklahoma. There are certain restrictions, and unemployment benefits must be returned in full once back pay is received.
You can find links to these resources and others that we've previously discussed in the shutdown article on the military section of our website at kswo.com. Well, Army MWR wants to remind soldiers and their families that even though the government is shut down right now, they are here to serve them.
Core programs like child and youth centers, fitness centers, and other recreation and support services remain open to support soldier and family readiness. Many MWR facilities and staff are funded by non-appropriated funds, which are generated in the community.
Every dollar you spend at MWR facilities, from the golf course to the bowling center, is reinvested directly into the programs and services that boost morale and quality of life. Well, October is Domestic Violence Prevention Month, and Army Community Service, alongside Fort Sill MWR, is hosting a run to raise awareness later this month. That run will take place next Wednesday, October 15th at 6:30 p.m. at the Patriot Club. There will be a 5K run, 5K ruck, or a 1-mile walk.
$35 will get you a limited edition t-shirt, bib, and medal. However, the run itself is free and open to the public. You can register online at sill.armymwr.com or in person at the Welcome Center. And pumpkin spice, candy, goblins, ghouls, and of course zombies are just staples of October, right?
Of course.
And the festivities that surround Halloween.
Well, this morning we're taking a look at just one of several events that Fort Sill is hosting this month, and that's right, the Dawn of the Dead is upon us again. Fort Sill MWR is gearing up for its annual Zombie 5K, which will take place on October 25th. As you can imagine, there's nothing ordinary about this run.
If you ever want to run from zombies, this is your opportunity. Come on out. Patriot Club sells out every single year. So if you want to take part in this, it's open to the first 500 people if you want to get swag, but it's open after that. If you want to come out and just run, heck, if you want to be one of our zombie characters, you can do that also. Come out, sign up. You run through Martha Songbird Trail, you get chased by zombies, you get candy, you get prizes, and there's some other little sweet things that we have out there for you.
Now, you can run or ruck. Cost is $45 for a t-shirt, water bottle, bib, and medal. However, as Ethan stated, and in previous runs, you can just show up and participate for free if you don't want the swag. For more information and to register, you can visit sill.armymwr.com.
Shepherd Air Force Base is inviting everyone to the Commons later this month for their monthly axe throwing tournament. Now, contestants will complete 3 rounds. The highest total score will win. The event will be next Saturday beginning at 5 p.m. It costs $15. You can call or stop by the Commons to get signed up.
And if you want to embrace your inner child, the Pittsburgh Fitness Center wants you to come out to their Nerf War Capture the Flag event. The battle will take place next Wednesday, October 15th at 1 p.m. at the basketball gym. All the equipment is provided and the event is free.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it does sound fun. I mean, my oldest in particular is a huge Nerf fan, right? I think he'd probably, if he wasn't up at OU, I'd just take him down to this. He'd probably have a fun time. So you must register by the October 13th by either calling the fitness center or visiting in person. Gulf War illness is now getting recognition as a legitimate illness by the CDC. We'll have the latest news from around the forces when Good Morning Fort Sill returns.
Get ready for your day with the First Alert 7 app.
A man charged in a deadly hit and run from 2023 has been sentenced.
7 News is working for you.
The Lawton Firefighters Association is raising awareness about critical staffing issues.
Your first alert for what's next.
We're just going to see dry conditions, mostly sunny skies.
Uncovering breaking stories that impact Texoma.
The city of Lawton's Ward 2 councilman has announced his resignation.
Checking facts and finding solutions. 7 News, working for you every night at 5 and 6. KSWO and the Lawton Fort Sill community want to thank our service members and their families for their service and sacrifice. We are extremely proud of your courage, dedication, and daily commitment to protecting our freedoms. To recent graduates and their extended families, congratulations on your accomplishment and welcome to our community. Lawton Fort Sill is a unique area like no other in the country. With our strong working relationship with our armed forces, thank you for everything you do for us.
Every first matters. The first alarm at first cup of coffee and the first look at what the day could bring.
And 7 News is right here with you with your first alert.
Every first, every morning, we're here. 7 News, Good Morning Texoma. The KSWO 7 News app. 7 News, working for you every night at 5 and 6. Here's your first alert forecast with meteorologist Ulysses Garcia.
Welcome back, everyone, and we're starting off with clouds here this morning across Texoma. A few showers just to the west of our viewing area could make their way towards Childress and Hollis if they hold together. But even in general, though, if they do hold together, they're going to be rather light in general here for the early morning hours. You can see kind of that cloud cover making its way through on our Jackson County Memorial Hospital tower cam in Altus. So we're definitely going to be dealing with partly to mostly cloudy skies here in the early going. Temperatures, though, we can kind of see where that frontal boundary is. You can see kind of 63 in Anadarko, 57 in Elk City, but just ahead of it, though, much milder at 67 in Lawton, 72 in Waurika, 65 in Wichita Falls. So more into the mid to upper 60s south of the front, while lower 60s to even 50s just north of the front. So pretty much crossing through our region as we speak. And that's going to continue to gradually push towards the south here throughout the day. But for the most part, we'll deal with partly to mostly cloudy skies. There's that stray chance of a shower throughout the day and even into tonight. And then you can't even rule it out for tomorrow. We'll still deal with the clouds across the area, and then more sunshine on the way really by the time we take over into your Thursday. That's going to carry on into your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then we do introduce the chance for some activity by the time we make our way into next Monday. Now, looking at your morning PT forecast at Fort Sill, we'll have those temperatures in those lower 60s here in the early going, up to 80 degrees today, stray shower possible, winds out of the north-northeast at 5 to 15, and for the next 7 days, we'll be in the lower 80s Tuesday and Wednesday, warming up already right around 90 for the weekend.
Gulf War illness is a debilitating medical condition linked to military service. It's finally been formally recognized as a legitimate illness after more than 3 decades of reports by veterans about unexplained symptoms that they've developed during active duty service in the Persian Gulf.
The CDC has announced a diagnostic code for the condition that will enable doctors and scientists to more effectively track, document, and treat the symptoms of Gulf War illness. Now, according to the VA, over 230,000 troops that served during Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm continue to be affected by the disease. Well, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has fired Navy Chief of Staff of the Secretary of the Navy, John Harrison. Now, Harrison served as Chief of Staff under Navy Secretary John Felon.
Now, Harrison, who was appointed to that civilian role in January, worked with Secretary Felon to make change to Navy policy and budgeting offices. Harrison's ouster follows the Senate confirmation of Hung Cao as the Navy's undersecretary on Wednesday. Cao was confirmed as the service's second-ranking civilian leader in a 52-45 vote. And a federal appeals court in Virginia is attempting to decide whether a company that worked alongside soldiers in Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq should be held liable for treatment that detainees experienced while there.
The case has been in litigation for more than 17 years. It would provide over $42 million in payouts for the plaintiffs in the case. KC Premier Technology, the primary defendants in the case, were hired in 2003 by the U.S. government to provide civilian interrogators at Abu Ghraib.
The company has long denied its employees took part or were responsible for the notorious events at the prison and repeatedly has moved to have the case dismissed. Plaintiffs have accused the contractor of inflicting experienced physical and psychological psychological abuse at Abu Ghraib, including electrical shocks, food deprivation, and threats of dog attacks.
The court has no timeline to make a decision. If one of the parties wants to challenge the verdict, it can appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. Well, the trial process is moving forward for a Navy seaman accused of the premeditated murder of another sailor. The latest details in that case coming up after this break.
Get ready for your day with the First Alert 7 app.
A man charged in a deadly hit and run from 2023 has been sentenced.
7 News is working for you.
The Lawton Firefighters Association is raising awareness about critical staffing issues.
Your first alert for what's next.
We're just going to see dry conditions, mostly sunny skies.
Uncovering breaking stories that impact Texoma.
The city of Lawton's Ward 2 councilman has announced his resignation.
Checking facts and finding solutions. 7 News, working for you every night at 5 and 6. KSWO and the Lawton Fort Sill community want to thank our service members and their families for their service and sacrifice. We are extremely proud of your courage, dedication, and daily commitment to protecting our freedoms. To recent graduates and their extended families, congratulations on your accomplishment and welcome to our community. Lawton Fort Sill is a unique area like no other in the country, with our strong working relationship with our armed forces. Thank you for everything you do for us.
Every first matters. The first alarm at first cup of coffee and the first look at what the day could bring.
And 7 News is right here with you with your first alert.
Every first, every morning, we're here. 7 News, Good Morning Texoma. The KSWO 7 News app. 7 News, working for you every night at 5 and 6.
Well, Fleet Week is underway in San Francisco, but the annual event is unfortunately feeling the effects of the government shutdown due to the military not being able to participate.
Still, though, organizers say the air show will go ahead above in the city's waterfront. Cornell Barnard has the latest details.
Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
New Bay Area recruits from several branches of the U.S. military taking the oath and being sworn in as the next generation of service members during Fleet Week in San Francisco.
Standing before us are young men and women who have chosen a path of service, a commitment to something greater than themselves. And the uniform code of military justice. So help me God. So help me God.
I just want to be the best version of myself.
Amelia Johnson from Brentwood just enlisted in the Navy.
I never thought of myself going to college. You know, I wanted to be realistic with myself. And I was like, there's different paths, there's different crossways for me, but I feel like the Navy would be a big accomplishment.
This recruiting ceremony is not impacted by the federal government shutdown, but most Fleet Week events involving the U.S. military have been paused or grounded, like the Navy's Blue Angels. But organizers say the show will go on.
So the great thing is we're having a Fleet Week. Unlike in 2013, when we did also have a shutdown and Fleet Week was canceled, this year we are moving forward. We have an amazing air show. We have visiting ships from Canada, from Colombia.
The Royal Canadian Air Force Snowbirds, seen here on their website, will now headline the Fleet Week Air Show. Other planes are scheduled to fly too.
I worry because last year there's a lot of people.
Bars and restaurants like the Socialite in Fisherman's Wharf are gearing up for Fleet Week with extra food and drink and lots of patriotic flair. But there's worry that big crowds will stay home.
Every year, you know the people coming, and they be sure to really prepare for this event for the people. But now, I don't know.
Many businesses are hoping for the best. Back at the swearing in, Mayor Daniel Lurie wishing new recruits good luck.
Every single day, you will represent San Francisco in the Bay Area. And when you finish, we want you to come back to us as leaders, as mentors, and as neighbors.
Trial proceedings continue for Navy seaman Jeremiah Copeland, who was charged with the premeditated murder of sailor Angelina Resendez.
Now, Copeland had a pretrial hearing last month to discuss other unrelated charges of assaulting other individuals at Naval Station Norfolk. Attorneys for Resendez believe Copeland's charge of premeditated murder will be brought before a general court-martial and read to him at an arraignment.
Activists are demanding answers and calling for an independent investigation of Resendez's death. Her mother says that Copeland's other charges should have been taken more seriously.
Turning to your good news now, a combat veteran from Tennessee is finding his sea legs in retirement.
So just in time for Halloween, he built a full-size pirate ship for sailors and scallywags to enjoy. Army combat veteran Bionar Puerta didn't have a treasure map, but he did have a vision.
After dressing as Captain Jack Sparrow for Halloween one year, he was asked by a trick-or-treater where his ship was, so he got to work on making his own black pearl. For Puerta, creating memories is even better than finding buried treasure.
As a vet, it's important because time is precious. And moment notice, you're not here. So I'm trying to make a difference by, giving as much as I can with what I got. And what I got is my hands, and I could build stuff.
That ship looks amazing right there. I may have to travel out to go look at that. Puerta says to keep a weather eye on the horizon on weekends because Captain Jack Sparrow is known to make an appearance on his quest for more treasure. The remains of a World War II veteran were laid to rest in Missouri nearly 80 years after his death.
Nathan Brennan has more on their story and why the proper burial took so long to take place.
On Sunday morning, friends and family of Sergeant Simon Garlish were finally able to give their proper goodbyes. Nearly 80 years after his death, he was laid to rest at Sheffield Cemetery in northeast Kansas City.
It's an honor and a privilege. And that's the only way I, myself, can look at it.
Sergeant Garlish was captured and died as a prisoner of war during World War II. He was accounted for in October of last year, and his remains landed in Kansas City just days ago.
He was my favorite uncle, always.
For decades, Sergeant Garlish's family had to live with more questions than answers, wondering if they would ever be able to bring him home.
And now I'm off to tears. And they're tears of joy, not tears of sadness.
Thanks to perseverance and generations of hope, Sergeant Garlish did come home and will now forever lay next to his mother and sisters back in Kansas City.
It means almost everything in the world. And I'm happy. I'm really, really happy. And
here's your first alert forecast with meteorologist Ulysses Garcia.
Good morning and happy Tuesday. And looking at what's happening right now, really not much right now. We could see maybe just a stray shower here this morning, especially for our western communities. But looking at our Chickasha Chamber of Commerce tower cam, really nothing happening when it comes to traffic. We're dealing with overall partly to mostly cloudy skies. 57 degrees in Elk City, that is the cool spot. 61 in Childress, 65 in Lawton, 66 in Wichita Falls. We're kind of dealing with that front just gradually pushing through the region. So we will see those temperatures fall a little bit more before sunrise, before they start rising today. But don't really expect a big rise like what we had yesterday, as we'll still deal with a good amount of cloud cover across the region. A little bit less cloud cover looking towards the south, but for the most part, partly to mostly cloudy skies are expected. We'll even continue that for tonight and even going into your Wednesday here across Texoma. Looking at the upcoming pattern, though, by the end of the week will be much sunnier across the area, and also our temperatures will begin to rebound as we make our way into the weekend. As we go into Monday, we'll actually start dealing with the chance for a few showers possible. For your Fort Sill forecast, for your PT, temperatures in the most part into those lower to mid 60s. For today, we'll warm things up to right around 80. And like I mentioned before, stray showers possible. North to northeasterly winds at 5 to 15. And as we look at your 7-day forecast, we'll be in the lower 80s today and tomorrow. We'll warm things up into the upper 80s late this week, and right around 90 for the weekend. Breezy on Sunday.
I'll do my best to enjoy the next 2 days. That's for sure.
Definitely.
Well, thanks for watching. Good morning, Fort Sill.